What's up, y'all? This is Bizarre here, and here to continue his series of the top 10 Wrestlemanias of all time. We are on number 7 right now, and so let's get right into it. The number 7 greatest WrestleMania of all time, in my opinion, WrestleMania back in 2005, WrestleMania 21. That's right, folks. The night of one of the biggest dream matches in the history of pro wrestling. Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels, but did the rest of the card live up to good expectations? Let's find out. It was a night of, let's say a night of very, very highs and a night of very, very lows. But the highs outweighed the lows, in my opinion, so let's get right into it. Opening match was Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero. Now, a lot of people say that this match was a letdown, and in a way, it kind of was. Like, I was expecting like a 4.5 star match. I was expecting them to go for about 15-20 minutes, and I was expecting a match not as good, obviously not as good as their like Halloween Havoc 97 match, but like something amazing. Let's just say, like, they were opening Mania, and it's Eddie and Rey, so you knew you were going to see a great match, and it was a very, very good match. I like it. Had a great pace to it. Some nice moves, some great wrestling, actually. And this was a series of matches where Rey Mysterio beat Eddie Guerrero, and Eddie never ever beat Rey until their very last match inside of a cage. But that's far down the road. Anyway, all in all, this was great wrestling, a great match, as always, between these two guys. I'll give it 3 3/4 stars. It could have been better, and there were some very annoying parts in the match with Rey trying to fix his mask. Whoever picked out that mask for Rey did a horrible job. But anyway, all in all, 3 3/4 star opener. Very good. Up next was the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. It was Edge versus Chris Benoit versus Chris Jericho versus Kane versus Shelton Benjamin versus Christian. This was an excellent match, and to date, I believe anyway, the best Money in the Bank ladder match that there's ever been. So many memorable spots, like Shelton Benjamin T-boning Edge off the top of the ladder, Shelton Benjamin again running up one ladder and clotheslining, I believe it was Jericho, off the top of another, Chris Benoit doing a diving headbutt off the top of a ladder. All in all, everyone in here got their spots in. No one outdid anyone in the, well, Shelton was obviously the outstanding person, but anyway, everyone in this match had their chance to shine, which I did like. Even Kane, who everyone expected to be like a nobody in this match, had some great spots. Anyway, overall, I'd say I'll give this match 4 1/4 stars. But like I said, to date, in my opinion, the best Money in the Bank ladder match. Edge wins after knocking Chris Benoit off the top with a chair and climbing and grabbing the briefcase, and we all know how that ended, where he won the title for the first time at New Year's Revolution 2006. Third match of the night was The Undertaker taking on Randy Orton, and I do have to say, although I never ever want or have wanted Undertaker's streak to end at WrestleMania, if there was one chance where it was going to happen, I would have wanted it to be this one, because this would have put Randy Orton mad over as a heel, plus over as a legend killer as well. This was a very, very good match. Some nice counter wrestling, some nice brawling out of The Undertaker. The interference from Cowboy Bob Orton, it didn't hurt the match, but it did take a little bit away from it. I would have liked to see just a clean match altogether, since Orton wasn't completely heel at this point. He was like in the process of turning heel again at this point in time. But like I said, overall a very good match. A very nice counter from the chokeslam to the RKO. I did not see coming at all. And in the end, Undertaker wins after countering Orton's tombstone into a tombstone of his own. I'll give this match 3 1/2 stars. It was very, very good, and I think it's a very underrated match by a lot of people, since a lot of people tend to overlook it when they're talking about this event. Up next was the women's title match, Trish Stratus versus Christy Hemme. Trish tried her best to carry Christy in this match. Didn't really work out very well. It was okay. Like, it's not the worst women's match I've ever seen. It's not even the worst in Mania history. But Hemme was just horrible in the ring at this point. Still is, I think, anyway. I'll give it uh, I'll give it a star, maybe a star and a quarter if I'm feeling generous. Nothing you have to see, or I don't think anything that should have been on a pay-per-view, but anyway. Up next was the match everyone who was a wrestling fan bought this event for, and that was, in my mind, the true main event of the show. It was Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle, and what a hell of a match that this was. Some excellent Greco-Roman style wrestling, some excellent freestyle wrestling, some excellent WWE style wrestling. You know, Angle and Michaels pulled it all out in this match. No one held back. I really liked that. It did start off a little slower than I would have wanted it to, but it picked up so much after the first like 5 minutes or so. A few nice spots. Angle busts out the moonsault for the first time in like almost a year, I think, since he did that. Shawn Michaels pulled off like a nice spot where he senton from the rope onto the announcer's table onto Kurt Angle. And all in all, everyone pulls out their signature moves, and Shawn Michaels literally proves that he can hit a sweet chin music out of nowhere, because Angle like had him by the hair and was screaming at him, and then Shawn just like knocked his hand away and hit sweet chin music. That was so nice. The countering from the sweet chin music into the ankle lock was also beautiful, and Shawn survived for like 2 or 3 minutes in the ankle lock, and that was amazing. But anyway, all in all, an excellent match. And if not for the Kobashi Joe match in 2005, as well as the three-way match from Unbreakable, TNA Unbreakable, this would be the match of the year. But unfortunately, those two matches happened, so this match did not get that honor. I'll give it 4 3/4 stars. I will give it that high. It's not quite 5 stars, since, like I said, the opening 5 minutes did drag on a little bit longer than I would have wanted, but all in all, this is a must-see match if you are a fan of pro wrestling. Up next was the segment in the ring with Piper's Pit with Stone Cold Steve Austin. This was an entertaining segment. It didn't go as well as I wanted it to. This was another reason why I ordered the show. I did want to see this so much, but then Carlito came out and sort of killed it a little bit. Even though I love Carlito, you know, he did sort of kill it. It was an entertaining segment, but not as good as it could have been, since it was Piper and Austin, so you expect something a little bit better to happen than what did. And then up next was a sumo match between Big Show and Akebono. You don't know who Akebono is? He is a Japanese wrestler, a sumo wrestler. Not good. This match definitely should not have been on the show whatsoever. And what really killed me was that they kept Booker T and the U.S. champion Orlando Jordan off of the show to put this match on. If they wanted to fill 5 minutes of time, they could have had like a triple threat match with Show, Orlando, and Booker, or something like that, or just Booker and Show, right? But no, like they had to have this match, and I still don't know why. This match is a big dud, and please do yourself a favor if you have this DVD and just never watch it. Just skip right through it. And then up next was, unfortunately, in my opinion, the worst WWE title match of all time. JBL versus John Cena. This match was not very good. It was boring. It was slow. The match was about 12 minutes long. JBL dominated about 10 of those 12 minutes. And John Cena wins out of nowhere with just one FU, which basically downgrades the other 5 or 6 people that JBL faced in the past 9 months, which wasn't very good at all. The match was dull. The crowd popped at the end when John Cena won, but other than that, nothing to go out of your way to see. I'll give it a 1.5 stars, and in my opinion, the worst WWE title match of all time, which is not good. But then the main event was Dave Batista versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight title. This match was good. Storytelling-wise, it was good. Wrestling-wise, it was okay. But the storytelling evened it out very nicely. This match had great build-up to it. Excellent build-up, actually. And all in all, it was very entertaining. Triple H did a nice blade job. Motorhead played him to the ring. And the crowd was really into it. I'll give it 3 stars even. So, even though this pay-per-view did have a lot of lows, it did have a lot more highs. And that is why it is number 7 on my list. Stay tuned for number 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.